Hometown Highlight is our chance to get out to some of these smaller towns that don't get as much coverage as other areas. LaCrosse, Washington kind of checks all those boxes. We're about 30 miles southwest of Colfax, and with a population of about 300, this town has had to fight to stay alive, and they are willing to get creative to do so. These rock houses here behind me are an example of the steps they are taking to try to bring more people to town to make sure LaCrosse stays on the map. Quiet determination runs deep in LaCrosse, Washington.
We're resilient and we just refuse to die. We just are going to make things work.
Making things work. That's not Sarah Kane's official job, but it describes her duties as the executive director of LaCrosse Community Pride.
So LaCrosse Community Pride is a group of volunteers. Their mission is to revitalize the town of LaCrosse.
The group started more than 10 years ago, and the nonprofit has restored historic buildings and made improvements to enable Main Street to have a bank, a store, and a cafe. All of those things are important in a town to provide places to connect and supply services for the town of about 300 people. Because if it's not in town,
LaCrosse is totally different.
It's not nearby.
We are 35 miles from anything major.
In January of this year, the town joined the Washington Main Street program, which provides tax incentives to businesses that help historic downtowns survive and prosper. The key is to preserve the history while forging ahead.
We are at Start and Repair in LaCrosse, Washington.
The Start and Repair shop has sat along Main Street since the 1960s. The shop is a third-generation family-run business, with the fourth generation coming up fast. The Start and family is part of LaCrosse, and the lifestyle is part of them.
Small town America, very friendly people, and you don't have to deal with the big city crime or anything like that. You feel safe here at night.
Starton was part of the LaCrosse Community Pride group for many years, fighting to keep LaCrosse from becoming a ghost town.
And it was about revitalizing and keeping it going rather than have it die like other small towns in Woodland County.
So the Community Pride group is turning to its past once again.
There's somebody in there that's still in the community and I can't remember which kid it is.
Kane walked us through a small museum which is housed inside one of these small rock houses.
Of course, these are very unique because this is LaCrosse.
The buildings were originally constructed during the Depression when materials were limited and rocks were free. But by 2016, the historic homes were a mess.
They were just falling apart. We had a group come through and look at them, and they deemed them one of the most endangered buildings in the state. And that rallied us to get LaCrosse Community Pride together to rebuild them.
The organization turned an eyesore into a functioning Airbnb this spring, and now many weekends they are booked.
And they're bringing people to our community, and then those people are using our cafe, our bar, our grocery store, and that will keep us alive.
The town's population has not grown and has in fact continued to dip, but new ideas coupled with old-fashioned determination have so far kept LaCrosse on the map. Well, this is LaCrosse's main avenue right here behind me, and as you heard in that story, there are several businesses here like a bank, a store, a cafe, and a repair shop, but they would love to see more people move in, especially with families, because families bring kids and kids help fill the schools here. With about 80 kids in the LaCrosse area, they've had to get creative to do things like field a football team. So from here, we are heading to the LaCrosse St. John Endicott football game tonight. It is their homecoming, and coming up on KREM 2 News at 5 and 6 tonight, we expect to hear from some of the players and the homecoming court royalty. In LaCrosse, I'm Mark Hanrahan for KREM 2 News.